What's up YouTube fam? It's your girl Danita Faith and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are here with another reaction video to Love Island US Season 3 and I'm going to be reacting to episode 2 and 3 that happened last night and the night before last. I'm just going to go ahead and put them in one video together. But before we get started, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel and click that bell notification one good time so you know when I post new content. And also, follow me on my socials. Now let's get started with this double whammy recap. So we're going to start off right where we left off. So Cinco had just received a text that him and Will have to couple up with 2 girls in 24 hours, leaving 2 guys vulnerable. Now I had mentioned last video that they were vulnerable of getting kicked off the island, but at the moment they'll just be considered as single around the island. So a little clarification from what I said last episode. But so we see Will and Cinco and they go and take the ladies off, just to get to know them, get the feels or whatever. Shannon goes ahead and lets them know like, hey, me and Josh are together, we're pretty strong, but he isn't really my typical type. My typical type is more so like slender, like Italian man, and she looks over at Will and Will looks at her, so maybe a little something happening there. Meanwhile, Josh is telling the fellas like, hey, me and Shannon are fine, we're good, like I'm her type, she's my type, we're straight. Little does he know, Shannon's saying the opposite. We also hear from Olivia, and basically she says that her and Giovanni, she doesn't know about that one. She's not really feeling him. She wants somebody that she like wants to jump their bones. She doesn't necessarily want to jump Giovanni's bones, so she's keeping her like eyes open, her options open, whatever, for whoever else comes through that door. The guys finally realize like, hey, we left the ladies down there with 2 good looking guys for way too long, let's go back down there. So they head back down. They come into a conversation about what everybody like turn ons and turn offs are, and Shannon and Josh both mention that their turn offs are people who are too clingy. I feel like that's going to come back at some point, because again, I feel like they're going to be that couple that fights and gets back together, so I think clinginess is going to play a part in that. We then see Shannon, Cash, and Trina in the dressing room, and basically they're just like, these men are too fun. They're so handsome. All the ladies think Cinco is a man and they're waiting for a man to walk through that door, and I mean, he is. We then see Kira chit-chatting away with Will, and y'all, let me let y'all know right now, Kira is smitten, sis is head over heels. When you see like those cartoon episodes where like the heart comes out of like the eyes and the chest, that's pretty much Kira right now. Like, sis is so smitten by Will. So we see her talking, smiling, and she says that she sees an attraction there, and she doesn't really feel an attraction when she kissed Corey, but she did feel that like spark when she kissed Will. So Corey, my man, you might be in trouble with losing your girl. We now head on to the bedroom, and it's nighttime, and we see Shannon and Josh get a little handsy, a little cuddle sesh, little kiss in the bed, and we also see Trina and Jeremy cuddle as well. Then the next day we see Giovanni and Corey talking, and they're basically saying how they think they heard some noises, something rumbling in the sheets last night. Come to find out, Shannon admits that it was most likely her and Josh because they were fooling around. We then see Will and Cinco go and talk about who they kind of are feeling at the moment. Cinco right now has a strong attraction to Trina. He's liking her vibe, her look, so he's definitely into her. He's also surprisingly into Olivia. He feels like, she's very mature, she knows what she wants, being one of the older girls in the group. I believe she's 28, so he very much sees that like maturity side of her, and he's digging it. Then we go to Will, and basically all eyes are on Kira for him. He's just like, I think me and Kira might have something. Now Cinco does let him know like, hey, Shannon was talking about how she's feeling Italian boys, so maybe you should talk to Shannon as well. I think she's more your type than she is my type, so you should definitely see how that is as well. Now we have a game. So on Love Island, sometimes they'll have different games for them to play where they have a chance to really get to know each other a little bit better, or they might throw in like tweets that the public is saying to kind of like cause some havoc and some drama or solidify some couples. So this game is called Whistleblower, and basically the cast will read a card, and the card will say like, this person went out with 5 people in one night and then slept with 3 of them, and then they have to go walk over and guess who the person is. They'll pull the person to the side, do a little dancey dance with them, because they have them dance like they're on Bridgerton. And if you've ever seen Bridgerton, you know the dance scene of how they're all dressed up. That's pretty much how the cast is dressed right now. So they basically grab that person that they think the card belongs to, they do a little dancey dance, a little kissy kiss, and then they take the little sticker off the card to showcase who it actually belongs to. So the guys go first, and we see Jeremy, and he picks Trina for this like freaky type of question, and it was exactly Trina. Basically she admits that, hey, I'm a freak in the sheets and a lady in the streets, so come hard or go home if you're gonna be with me. We then see Christian, and he goes and pulls Olivia, and they have another passionate kiss. You know, the thing back there, they touch that little thing back there. Yeah, they do another one of those. And then we see Giovanni, and he actually picks Cash for a question regarding a sugar daddy and like taking advantage of a sugar daddy. And everybody's like, whoa, he picked Cash. Even Cash is a little surprised. They have a little dancey dance and a kiss, and they both say it was actually a nice kiss, but unfortunately he got the question wrong. It was Shannon, who then turned around and said, make his pockets hurt. Shannon about that cha-ching, okay? We then see Corey, and he goes for Kira, obviously, and she enjoys the kiss. She does like it. It's just probably not what she wants, you know? We also learned that Kira has a very high sex drive, and she has not met a guy, so she says, that has matched her sex drive. Will over there like, you ain't met me yet. So we'll see what happens between those two. It's now the ladies' turn, and Shannon goes first, and she picks Will, and she has a kiss with him, and she said the kiss is very passionate and there's a lot of fire in it, and Miss Kira is not feeling it, okay? She don't like what she sees. I can already see some drama happen there if other girls come in and they kind of like want Will, because Kira's already putting her claws in him, and like he ain't even your partner at the moment, so like breathe, sis. We then see Kira go, and obviously she's gonna pick Will. I mean, who else is she really gonna choose? And she says she felt butterflies and she felt magic and fire, and it was just the best kiss she ever had. However, she gets the question wrong, which was about a guy who slept with one girl and then turned around and slept with her best friend quickly after. It ended up being Josh. So Shannon is just like, I'm watching him. Like, that's dirty, my friend. Like, why would you do that? We then have Trina, and she actually goes and she picks Cinco for a kiss, and she says the kiss with Cinco was also passionate. They just love this passionate word today, but it's passionate, it has fire, it has sex appeal. She was feeling it. Now, all the ladies were like, on this question about Cinco, because it was about him breaking the bed, which it was him. He did break that bed, so all the ladies are highly impressed that Cinco knows his way around a bed, if you know what I mean. But in the end of the game, the group ends up tying 2-2, and there is really no real winner. Now we head back to the villa, and Kira basically says again, you know, that she felt that spark with Will that she really didn't feel with Corey, and she's liking what she's feeling when it comes to when she kisses Will anyways. And then she looks over at Shannon, and she's like, so Shannon, how did you feel about that kiss? And Shannon's just like, I mean, the kiss was great. I definitely felt that fire too, obviously, you know. It was fun. Which Kira is probably like reeling on the inside, because she don't want nobody else to have a fiery kiss with Will, just her. We then see Will, and he's sitting with all the fellas, and basically he's a little smitten about Kira too. He's just like, I kind of felt those butterflies. I don't want to like say too much because it is early days, as the UK version like to say, but he's like, I did feel something with her. The guys also asked Jeremy how he felt about his, you know, second kiss with Trina, and he's just like, oh, it was great, definitely better than the first kiss that we had, and I'm really liking the connection that we got. And the guys are just like, yeah, you, like, out of all the guys, haven't really talked to anybody else in the villa yet. You're staying pretty loyal, and that's like, that's nice to see. So Jer is pretty much focused on Trina and Trina only. We then see Trina again just say how she feels like the kiss with Jeremy was very romantic, you know, sweet, nice, but the kiss with Cinco was like sex. So clearly she has a very sexual attraction to Cinco, but it sounds like she might have a more intimate and like deeper connection with Jeremy. We then see the fellows kind of, you know, trying to figure out where Will and Cinco's heads are at in regards to who they're going to decide to couple up with at the end of the night. Cinco at the moment is just like, you know, I'm still feeling Trina. I want to see where that goes. But now he's putting Cash in the mix and has taken Olivia off the table. So we shall see if he likes, you know, spending more time with Cash or still getting to know Trina. Will is still very much like eyeing Kira, but I think he's starting to think about Shannon as well. So he informs the guys that he doesn't know what he's going to do yet. He still has some figuring out to do. We then see Kira and Will go off for a little talk, and basically she tells them like, hey, I'm interested in you. That's just, I'm laying all my cards out on the table. I'm interested in you. And I'm like, yes, sis, let him know what you want. Like, be bold, be brave, be blunt. Let him know. So, and Will's just like, hey, I'm loving our connection. I'm loving the communication, how open we are with one another. I'm liking where this is going. We then see Cinco take Trina off to the side, and basically she's just like, so look, what's your intentions? Like, you here to be a player, you here to fool around, you just having fun, you trying to find love, you trying to get that cha-ching. Why are you here? And basically he's just like, look, like, I'm very open to finding love if love happens here. Like, again, I'm trying to find my princess. Like, I'm not here to play any games. And then he lets her know, like, you are on my list and you're probably #1 on my list. Which she's just like, ooh, okay, thank you. So we definitely see that Trina is liking the attention she's getting from Cinco, and Cinco is still, you know, feeling Trina. They had that initial like sexual attraction to one another. It's just a matter of if they're going to get deeper or not. We then see Will and Corey talk, because unlike Cinco, who says he's not really going to go off and tell Jeremy that he's talking to Trina, Will is like, you know, honesty is the best policy. So he goes over to Corey and basically lets Corey know like, hey, I'm feeling Kira, you know, and Kira's feeling me, and I just want to make sure you're okay with us like getting to know each other. And of course Corey is not, because my man's is scared he's gonna lose this girl. But he's just like, look, I don't want to be that guy, so like, yeah, go and talk to her, like, see whatever it is that y'all have going on. But we know deep down Corey is fuming and scared. We then see Trina and Jeremy talking basically, and they're just talking about her conversation she literally just had with Cinco. And basically she's just like, yeah, he wants to get to know me, see what it is, you know, but I'm liking what we're doing. However, I don't necessarily want to put all my eggs in one basket. So Miss Trina is loving the attention from 2 different guys. This is just like, I don't know who I am, because she is getting so much attention and she just does not know what to do with it. And Jeremy is pretty much nervous that he's gonna lose Trina. He's just like, I haven't really talked to anybody else, so if he takes Trina from me, what do I do? Like, there's nobody else that I've had a strong enough connection with just yet. But again, Jeremy, it's only day 2. You never know what can happen. Then we go off and we see Cinco and Cash talking, and it's like, hey, if she's on your list, you might as well get to know a little bit about her, right? So we see them talking and they're laughing, you know, having a good little conversation. And then Cinco brings up love languages, so they discuss what their love languages are. He talks about his physical touch. Cash is like, so is mine, you know, words of affirmation, stuff like that. And it's lovely to see a guy who knows his love languages, because it's like, hey, how do you express love to somebody else? Like, what do you like to do? Do you like physical touch, or are you just like, no, don't touch me like that? Are you somebody who wants somebody who does acts of service? Like, I need to know. So I'm glad that Cinco knows what he likes. He also mentions what he likes to do to, you know, show his love, which is like gift giving. So Cash was like, oh yes, let me make a little gift. So they're connecting totally, and he realizes like, hey, I didn't know that my conversation with Cash was going to be this good. Like, she's getting me to open up, and I'm seeing a new little side of myself. And I knew she was already dope, but like, I didn't know how dope she was until this conversation. So now my boy Cinco is confused. We then see Corey and Kira having that dreadful conversation that Corey does not want to have. And basically he's just like, look, if you're feeling Will and Will's feeling you, just go talk to him. I'll be fine. I don't want to be that person that stands in the way of like a possible strong connection. So he's like, go forth and be great. And Kira's like, no thanks, I appreciate that. But he is definitely hurting. We then see Will and Shannon having a conversation, because again, Will is like, I like Kira, but Shannon. And we find out that Shannon is more so the type of woman that Will goes for, you know, blonde, kind of like very blunt, straightforward, stuff like that. And he doesn't typically go for the Kira type. So he's just like, I don't know if I should go for what I'm used to, my like comfortable zone, which is Shannon, or try something new with Kira. But he does tell Shannon that they definitely have a connection. He just also has one with Kira. We then see him talking to Josh as well, and basically he lets Josh know, hey, I find your girl attractive and she finds me attractive and we're gonna talk. I just want you to know. And Josh is just like, yeah, I mean, do you, but at the end of the day, like, if you decide to choose Kira instead of Shannon, like, Shannon will still be here for y'all to talk to, but I think our connection is a lot stronger than y'all's could ever be. But hey, do you, my friend, do you. We are now getting ready for the night's event. The ladies are nervous. The OG guys are also nervous. We see Josh and Shannon talking about Will, and basically Josh is just like, look, I don't trust Will. I really don't trust anything that comes out of his mouth. And Shannon's just like, hey, he didn't really want to talk to me to begin with because of our connection, and I like what we got going on too. So I think Shannon is like, she's interested in Will, but I think her eggs are more so in Josh's basket than Will's basket. Then we see Trina, and basically she's telling everybody that like Cinco is the type of guy that she normally goes for, whereas Jeremy isn't, so maybe she shouldn't do what she normally does. But Cinco does pull Trina off to the side again, and basically he's just like, look, I'm confused. I don't really know who I want to choose, and I know your connection with Jeremy is pretty strong, so I don't know if I really want to test that or try to like jump in there and cause issues. He's like, I don't really know if I have the energy or the time to even deal with all of that. Then he also pulls Cash to the side, and basically he's a little flustered around Cash and a little tongue-tied, and basically she's like, look, you got two girls who are dope that you're feeling, you know, just make the choice that's best for you. But he does ask her, like, are you still open to us, because I know you're in a couple with Christian. And she's like, look, me and Christian are strictly friends, like there's nothing there, so of course I'm for sure open to getting to know you. We also see Kira again, and my good sis is down bad, y'all. Like, she is in love with this man already, and I'm like, girl, relax, breathe. But she is so in love, and basically she lets Will know, like, look, you're my number one. Can I be your number one? Like, she knows that he's also talking to Shannon, and she's just like, I don't want to be second choice. Like, if you really want Shannon, go after Shannon, but if you're feeling me, come to me. Now it's time for Will and Cinco to choose who they want. They both go up top, and everybody else is like sitting around the fire pit. And basically Will is just like, I choose Kira, and Cinco chooses Cash. So now we have those new couples, and Christian and Corey are now considered single on the island. They receive a text message that basically says, hey, y'all are single, but get to mingling, because at the end of the week there will be a new recoupling, and whoever is left single will be kicked off the island. So that was the end of episode 2, and we're going to jump right into episode 3. So here we see Kira and Will, as well as Cinco and Cash, all having, like, you know, separate conversations from the group, just so the guys can make sure the ladies are okay with them being chosen as, you know, the person that they wanted to couple up with this night. So we start off with Will and Kira, and basically Kira is just like, she's happy, she has these butterflies, she's feeling Will, and Will is just like, she's very unique, she's different from what I normally go for, but like, I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I don't regret choosing her at all. We then see Cinco and Cash talking, and he's asking her, you know, how did you feel about my choice? And Cash is like, I'm glad you chose me. You were talking about it was a hard choice and I didn't know what to do. And she's like, is it me or is it not me? Is it? And he was like, no, like, you've opened me up, like, our conversations have been great, and I would love to see where this whole thing can go. And she, of course, comments on how big he is, and he's like, are you calling me fat? And she's like, no, like, you can like throw me around, you know, like, you're just so So very much friendship vibes at the moment, but hey, some of the best relationships start off with a solid friendship foundation, so can't wait to see where that whole thing goes. We then see Corey and Christian, the two singles of the group, now talking, and basically Corey feels like he can't really take any girl from any of the guys at this point. Like, some couples have really established themselves as couples, like Trina and Jeremy and Shannon and Josh. He does mention Trina by name though, so maybe Trina is somebody who's on his radar to possibly try to steal, but he's just not sure about it just yet. Meanwhile, Christian is just like, you think that way, but I think I got something with Olivia. I'ma see what that is. So Christian's going after Olivia, and hey, sis might be open to it. She does want somebody that she can jump their bones, and maybe Christian's bones are the bones she wants to jump. We then see Trina and Jeremy talking, and basically she's relieved that Cinco did not choose her. Even though she's excited that she had Cinco and Jeremy both like wanting her, at the end of the day she realized that she more so wanted Jeremy than Cinco. So she's very glad that Cinco didn't pick her, and so is Jeremy, because Jeremy hasn't really talked to anybody else. So had he became a single on the island, he didn't really know what to do with himself or like how to go about everything. So but they're going to keep making a stronger connection, getting to know each other. However, Jeremy does tell Trina he wants to go slow. He doesn't want to like jump straight into them being like very intimate and everything and doing stuff in the bedroom, because he wants to like pace himself in this relationship. Meanwhile, Miss Trina is just like, go forth and be great. Like, let's go do this thing. Like, I'm not trying to just sit around and just talk 24/7. Like, I want to kiss you. I want to touch you. I want to cuddle. But hey, sometimes you have to go the other person's pace until they feel a little more comfortable around you. But they do share a nice little kiss on the couch. We then are getting ready for bedtime, and let me just say, Cinco plus do-rag plus glasses is yummy. That man is too fine for his own good. We also see Kira and Will both just smitten with each other. I'm just like, get a room by yourselves. Like, just go ahead and leave the island together, because clearly y'all are very much into each other. Also, we see Trina and Jeremy in the bed, and even though Jeremy said he wants to go slow, he over here feeling his hand around, and there's motion moving in the bed, and the sheets are going up and down. So I'm just like, for somebody that wanted to go slow, why is the bed moving so much? Why is it moving? The next day, Trina admits to the ladies that her and Jeremy did have a little like fool around session. They didn't go all the way, but she did say that thing is thangin'. So good for you, Jer. We also see Christian and Olivia have a talk, and basically Christian lets her know like, hey, I think we have something here. I think the whole awkwardness that we probably had on day one has now left, and we're getting to know each other. And Olivia's just like, yeah, I honestly, if I'm being honest, like a lot of the ladies feel like Giovanni gives off player vibes, which to me personally, Giovanni does not. I just think he's just a very outgoing spirit. I don't necessarily get player vibes, but who am I to say? Because she's in the house with him. I'm not. But she definitely says that Christian pulls her in more, that he's good looking, he's the full package for her, and exactly what she's looking for. And like, hey, if she like it, I love it. But if I'm being honest, Christian ain't that cute to me. Sorry, Christian. We then see Will and Kara again talking, connecting, making googly eyes. They kiss. I feel like this is gonna be how it is with them for a minute, unless somebody comes in and stirs up some drama. But they're both very much into each other. We then see Jeremy, and he's talking to Christian, and basically he's just like, what happened in the bed with Trina, he didn't necessarily want to happen because he wants to go slow. So he wants to kind of pump the brakes on them kind of like fooling around in the bedroom, because he wants to slow down some. And Christian is just like, yeah, you don't want to end up in a situation where it's all about just lust and y'all really don't know each other and know anything about each other, because like a relationship just built on just sex there's nothing else there. It's gonna crumble eventually. So Christian gives him some words of advice. We then see Giovanni and Olivia have a conversation, and basically Giovanni is just like, why don't you have any tattoos? And Olivia's like, oh, I'm a bubbly person, like I just feel like they would look weird on me. And it's like, girl, you can be bubbly and still have a tattoo. If you don't like them, just say, I don't really like tattoos. That's just, it is what it is. But they do get to talking, and they try to get a little bit deeper. Giovanni brings up how he has been reading a lot, and Olivia is kind of shocked because she's just like, I feel like you're too like upbeat and outgoing to actually sit down and read a book. And first Giovanni is just like, well, COVID, and then she kind of cuts him off and says something else about like his personality, and he's like, well, I mean, I didn't go to college, so I feel like I need to read books so I can gain that knowledge that I didn't get necessarily from like education wise, because I didn't go to school. And I really wished Olivia would have dug deeper into that topic, because I would have loved to know like, why didn't he go to college, you know, or what books has he read, especially with Giovanni being like a black male and with everything going on like racially in the US right now. I would have loved to know like, what books are you reading, or what things have you learned in regards to like history or science or whatever. And he also mentioned COVID, so like, did COVID affect him in what ways? I wish she would have went deeper, and maybe she did. I mean, there's a thing called editing, so maybe she did, but they ain't show it. So I just feel like the conversation just became very superficial because she didn't pull back a layer that she could have pulled back. Instead she started talking about how his energy was like up to here, and now it's like here now, whereas hers was here and now it's here. So they're kind of like meeting each other energy wise. But honestly, this is just gonna be a friendship couple, and Olivia ain't feeling no boy. Then we see Jeremy get a text, and basically him and Trina get the first date of the season. And Shannon is like hyping her up in the dressing room. Very much gave me Sally hyping up Justine or vice versa vibes. Not the same, because their vibes are like top tier. But it was trying to give me those feels. And then Jeremy basically tells Christian that he's nervous because he's awkward on dates and he doesn't really know how it's gonna go. And Christian's just like, look, just have fun. Like, it's the first date. Just enjoy yourself. You know her, she knows you. Just have fun. Again, Christian, I ain't feeling the little bang blonde, but you are giving some gems. I see you. And then we have Shannon basically telling Trina, you know, take advantage of this moment, like it's just gonna be you two. That's not gonna happen often unless you get the hideaway suite, so enjoy every moment. So now we're on the date, and the two actually go skating, so it was real cute. And then they end up at this little area where there's a picnic set up for them, some fruit, I think there was like a little drinky drink, and they have a little toast to their couple. And basically they both just like where they're going. They feel like they have a very strong connection, and Trina actually brings up long distance because she's in California and Jeremy's in New York. Now, bringing up like, how do you feel about long distance dating, for some people might be a little too much on the first date, but in Love Island, one day in that house could be like a week to these islanders, because you're literally with this person 24/7. You eat, sleep, breathe, repeat. Like, there's no TV, no cell phone, no magazines. Like, you're stuck with each other. So it's a valid question to ask at this point in time, I feel like. And basically Jeremy is just like, hey, I'm not really trying to like do anything too fast. I just want us to keep building and growing and seeing where it goes, and then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I do think we have a very strong connection. We then go back to the villa, and basically Josh and Shannon are talking, and Shannon just likes where they're going. She's loving what they have going, and she feels like they've gotten past that awkwardness stage, and Josh feels like they're a power couple. We then see Josh and Christian have a little talk off to the side, and they feel like Trina is into Jeremy more than Jeremy is into Trina, and I can see that. I can see that. And they also feel like there's going to be a shift in that relationship if they don't find like a balance to where they're not going too slow for Trina, but too fast for Jeremy. So they feel like there might be a little shift that happens. And again, I kind of agree. We then see Christian say that him and Cash, you know, had a nice little friendship coupling, but he's happy for her and Cinco, and he's feeling Olivia. Like, he wants Olivia and he's going after her. And I say, hey, if you want it, go after it, as long as she consents to it. Just if she receives it, go after her. We then have Jeremy and Trina return back, and Trina basically tells the girls that it was a great date and she's loving where they're at, and she can find herself falling in love with him. And I'm like, girl, it's only day, what, 3? Slow down. Like, you and Kira, y'all gonna give me like heart palpitations, because y'all falling too fast. Slow down. But I guess if you know, you know. But to me, it's a little quick. But she also tells them that he is like okay with doing long distance, and that she trusts him, and she does not see her head or his like really turning if somebody else comes into the villa. Meanwhile, Jeremy is telling the fellas that he don't want to move fast, and he's a little worried that he might have like jumped all in with Trina way too quick, and he realizes that he hasn't given himself the opportunity to get to know anybody else in the house. Like there might be another girl that he gets along with, and he doesn't know because him and Trina are just so like tight at the moment. And the guys say, yeah, like, you know, if you're feeling somebody else, you should talk to him. Like, it's early days. You shouldn't have to be attached at the hips just yet if you're not necessarily feeling her fully. So I guess Josh and Christian were right about that shift happening. I guess they got little like psychic abilities or something, because they called it. We then see Trina and Cash go off to the side and have a little, you know, heart to heart with each other. And basically Trina's just like, you know, how much she likes Jeremy and how she doesn't like to show her vulnerable side a lot. And I get it, girl, me too. And she's just like, I'm so glad you're here in this house, because I just feel like there's things about me that I can't necessarily speak about to the other ladies because I'm a black woman, you're a black woman. There's just things that we connect on that Shannon, Olivia, and Kira will never understand. And Cash is just like, no, definitely, like, I feel the exact same way. Like, I'm so glad you're here because we can go off and have those conversations and it's not awkward because like I get it and you get it. So yes, queens, I'm so glad y'all were able to connect, and I pray this friendship continues to blossom and CBS don't try to pin them against each other by putting a guy in the middle of them like they did Rachel and Justine last season, because that could have been the same bond, but it ain't happening. We then have a party again, because you know what's Love Island without a party. And Cash decides to wear Tanya, her wig, for the night. And while she's putting on a little makeup, Shannon is just like, yes girl, put on that red lip so that way Cinco can kiss it off your lips. And she's like, I don't know if I'm ready to kiss him yet. And Shannon's just like, girl, you have this tall chocolate man at your disposal and you don't want to kiss him yet? And Shannon, I'm with you, sis, because like if Cinco was my man or my partner beside me, or we kissing, because I didn't know if that is there, if that connection is there, because we obviously are vibing, but like, can we be sexual with one another? Like I'm a kisser. So Cash, if you don't want him, girl, toss him my way. We then see Josh get a text, and basically the text says, hey Josh, come meet me in the hot tub at the top of the house, love, Amy. We have a new Islander, ladies and gentlemen. And Shannon is jealous. So now we have Amy coming into the house, and Amy is 26 and she is a private chef. She basically says that she ain't here to make friends. This is not Friend Island, this is Love Island. She is here to get her man. I got friends back home, I don't need new ones. Shannon just letting y'all, not Shannon, sorry girl. Shannon might be losing her man, but Amy just letting y'all know what it is. She also basically says that she has and can live that very bougie, you know, lifestyle, Gucci, Louis Vuittons, you know, Fendi, all that stuff. But she can also live on a farm and, you know, have the cows and the pets and be very content with that lifestyle as well. So she can do both. We then see Cash basically ask Shannon like, girl, where you headed? How you feeling? I see you turning red. What's going on? And she's nervous, but she's just like, look, if Amy and Josh make a connection, he's not the guy for me. And that's a good, you know, thought to have in the back of your mind. However, we all know Shannon is losing her mind. We then see Josh meet Amy for the first time, and he compliments her on her eyes and tells her how gorgeous she is literally the entire time they're in the hot tub. He also asks her, you know, why me? And she's like, well, I think you're cute, you're sexy, you seem like a fun time, and I just want to see kind of like where your head is at, who you've connected with already in the house. And he mentions Shannon and that their connection is strong. However, he and she are both open to meeting other people if they come in and show interest, because like we don't want to cut something off that could possibly be something good. So Amy is like, noted, got you. Now Shannon is downstairs just like trying to stay calm, and the group basically lets her know, sis, you have nothing to worry about. However, the preview for Sunday's episode kind of shows that there's a rift happening between Shannon and Josh, and I wonder if that rift is Miss Amy, because she said, hey, I'm talking to everybody, every single guy. So Cash, watch your man, Trina, watch your man, Olivia, watch your man, Kira, watch your man. I'm coming for them all. Because again, it's Love Island. not friend Island. And I think she's gonna be a test for sure for Josh and Shannon. And that is my recap for episode 2 and 3 of Love Island season 3 US edition. Let me know in the comments below, do you all think Shannon has something to worry about with Miss Amy? Because I think she do. Josh was complimenting her eyes and her looks way too much in that jacuzzi. So I definitely think she might have something to worry about. But Shannon, my dear, you said he wasn't really your type, so I don't know. But let me know how you feel in the comments below. Also, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my lovely channel. And I can't wait to see you all next time. Continue to have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. Bye.